All right, welcome to Two Guys, One Take. My name is Noah, and that is Turner. And Turner, NBA Finals are set. We got a Midwest NBA Finals. Pacers, OKC. How are we feeling?
Hmm. I'm just glad it's not the Knicks, dude. I can't take any more Knicks fans slander, man. All this bing bong shit blowing up my timeline.
I
It's not
can't
good.
take watching the Knicks anymore. I've never watched a team. We'll just quickly put the Knicks to bed. I've never watched a team with so much star power that I just, other than maybe this year's Suns, that I just hated watching. The like Brunson centric. I get it. Okay, I feel like they just wasted Mikhail, and OG was awesome this last game, but they kind of just waste him. And Cat doesn't know what his fit is, and then sometimes Mitchell Robinson is running around, and they're just not a fun hang. So I'm
Yeah.
happy that we're getting the Pacers moving on because the Pacers are a fun hang. They're fun to watch,
hmm
um, and so is OKC. So the All Midwest, you could drive 10 hours back and forth if you wanted. If you're crazy, go see both games.
Yeah, man, we both wanted the Pacers to win this just because we know that's going to be way more of an interesting finals than if the Knicks somehow squeeze that shit out. But that game was rough, man. Like, not
Oh my
just
god.
the play itself, but like watching Cat get the dumbest fouls ever was just insane. He's gone, in my opinion. So look out for you need to hop on the trade machine even more, man.
Cat.
But I agree with you when you said like they don't really use OG the way they could. Same with kind of Mikhail. I think Mikhail could honestly work a lot better in isolation than Jalen Brunson can.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, that's a hot fucking take. But I just
Hot off the
hated.
press.
Yeah, man, I just hated seeing fucking Jalen Brunson with the ball every single time. Like even the game that they won and he didn't play a lot because he was in foul trouble. Like they played good, so why wouldn't
Yeah.
they just do the same fucking thing again?
Yeah. No, definitely. And I agree with you. I know Cat is probably going to be the first to go. If they're looking at like ways to tweak the team next season, I think he's going to have a movable contract, but he's going to want to get extended wherever he goes. So that'll be interesting. I don't think OG should be touchable like for them. I think he's too important, but
Yeah.
is there a reason? I mean, I know Jalen Brunson's dad is like on the fucking staff, but like I don't is there a reason that Brunson's not touchable? I know his contract's awesome. He's getting like underpaid for what he does, but like and I know he's like the heart of the Knicks and like their rebuild is all about Brunson showed up and then everything else followed, but like I don't know, like if a Giannis trade is on the table and they're like Brunson's got to be in it, like is he I'm just saying, I don't know. I feel like he's like this untouchable, like can't even talk
Yeah.
about it. And it's like I don't know, man, if Giannis is on the table, I think you have to have a meeting about it.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
um and
I
figure it
would take
out. But
Giannis on that team. Like fucking Brunson and Cat for a pick and Giannis, man.
and then you just like switch, and then you got Giannis, OG, and Mikhail. You just have this like defensive juggernaut.
Yeah. The other team scored
I
like
kind of like
the
it.
final score is like 80 to 90.
When they play the Spurs, it's like 50-40.
Wemby has 15 block shots and
Yeah,
Giannis has 13.
there's like a block in the paint where Wemby meets Giannis at the rim, and the space time continuum just like stops, ceases
Ah,
to exist. Something happens. Yeah, no, I am just I'm all for whatever happens with weird Knicks offseason stuff. It's gonna get weird because their fans are just like their fans get weird about stuff.
yeah,
Um, so there's gonna be tons of trade machine shit with them. They're like the opposite of the Lakers, where like the Lakers fans are like, what if we got Jokic and Luca and LeBron and they were all on the same team? They're like delusional that way. The Knicks are like, we have to find a way to get rid of everybody. They all suck.
yeah,
I don't want any of them near my team anymore.
yeah. Dude, I mean, after
Classic
the
New
game
York shit.
in yeah, classic New York shit. After the game and even today, just looking on X and all this shit that they're saying about Cat, about how shitty his defense is and how like he doesn't really show up in clutch time other than I think it was one game. Um, But 0 for 4 from 3 when that's literally his bread and butter is tough. You can't have that. You're not winning the game. The only thing I want to highlight, shout out Landry Shamet. He definitely got his fucking minutes at the end of that game, man. I don't know if you watched the end of that game, but man was hot. Man was hot. I think he went 4 for 4 in like the last 2 minutes.
Not only did I watch the end of that game, I stayed and watched the like presentation of the trophy. I just was like, fuck it, I'm all in. I'm watching all this in Indiana. But Shamet, this is now going to probably be a trivia question. Fun fact. Shamet's the last guy to score a bucket on a TNT broadcast. So just remember that when you're at trivia and they're like, who was the last player to score on a TNT broadcast? Shamet time.
That's wild.
Shamet time. So, yeah, he got in and got his shots up. I promise we'll get to the Pacers on the court, but did you happen to watch the presentation of the Eastern Conference Finals MVP trophy?
All I saw was the stuff on X after. But give me a little breakdown of it.
I was watching it in real time, sitting with my wife on the couch, and she had a Knicks to win the whole thing bet, so she was distraught. Oh. But we're watching, and they're like, all right, now to present the Larry Bird trophy, the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, it goes to, and I said out loud, Tyrese Halliburton, just like as he was saying it, and he goes, Pascal Siakam. And I watched Halliburton, he had started to walk up towards the trophy, and then all of a sudden it's Pascal's, and then Halliburton had to play like, oh yeah, I'm so happy for you. That's you. You did it. And I think he is happy for him, but man, I was right there with Tyrese. I couldn't believe.
Yeah.
After looking at the stats afterwards, obviously I'm like, okay, yeah, Pascal played great, but I still think Pascal played great because Tyrese Halliburton is so good at getting him set up and getting the whole team set up. It was almost like giving the, Super Bowl MVP to a receiver who had like 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, and because the quarterback was awesome. I don't. It's just that's how it felt to me. But I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, that was funny as fuck. I saw everything on X after. And then they kept putting it side by side with the Drewski and Kai Cenat at the NBA All-Star game when they both like are staring down this dude. But all I gotta say,
how it was.
Yeah, all I gotta say is good thing fucking Papa Halliburton wasn't on the floor, man. He would have gotten some.
He would have choked out Pascal.
Yeah, he was holding
him out.
I don't know why he has a beach towel of his son's face on him, man. They showed him in the broadcast when he was up in the suite, and he was like, I'm like, why do you just carry this thing around with you, man? It's weird.
I thought that was too funny. Everything about Mr. Halliburton kills me. I'm excited for him to be in Oklahoma City, hopefully, with all the blue shirts.
They have to let him in there. There's no way they can't.
You gotta let him into Oklahoma City, man. Come on. It's funny. But looking ahead to like previewing the finals a little bit, obviously this is a better series than if it was the Knicks. I think if it was the Knicks, it would have been sweep, like get the brooms out. It would have been pretty ugly, but I still don't. I would love for this series to go like 6 or 7, but I think the Thunder take it in 5. That's my prediction. I think the Thunder. I think this first game at Oklahoma City is going to be like a smack in the mouth for the Pacers coming off this like terrible Knicks defense. And I know the Pacers don't turn the ball over, and that's like their strength, but nobody doesn't turn the ball over against OKC. It just doesn't happen because they just come at you like a pack of like rabid pit bulls basically the whole time. But it will be interesting. I almost feel like, I might regret saying this just because, if it does go like 6 or 7, but the Pacers, I tweeted, what if they're the Thunder? They're kind of like the minor league Thunder. Yeah. They're like a step below them. They have the like, oh, we have a bunch of depth and whatever. But like when your depth is Thomas Bryant, that's, it's a little different than what OKC's thrown out there. So I don't know how you feel, but.
Yeah. No, it's just going to be a little bit different, especially for Tyrese Halliburton, in my opinion, just because he's going to see a lot more pressure than he did when I know he wasn't seeing Jalen Brunson every time down the floor, but whoever he was matched up against is obviously going to be a lot different because he's probably going to be matched up against like Dort or Caruso, even J-Dub, just to get that height advantage. But that matchup is not going to work out for him as well as it did for the Knicks because the Knicks gave him space. He doesn't even shoot like that, but they gave him enough space where he could read lanes and like see who was open. And OKC doesn't really do that. Like they do a good job clogging up lanes. They communicate well, especially on like backdoor cuts. And they don't give you a lot of space to shoot threes, which I know Tyrese doesn't really shoot threes, but he has a lot of weapons like with Nemhard and Naismith. Like they're like the 3-point shooters. Even Miles Turner, like Chet's gonna close out on Miles Turner when he's at the 3-point line. So it's definitely gonna be a lot different of a matchup for them, but I think, like you said, I bet they steal one. That might be the opening game, in my opinion, just because the Pacers come out really hot for some reason. That would be wild. So who knows? I just hope it's a good series, honestly.
Yeah, I think OKC's so good at home. I think they're gonna kill them in the first 2 games, and this might get clipped, and I might look stupid later, but I think they're gonna kill them at home in the first 2 games, and then I think they go to Indiana. Pacers get one of those 2 games, and then OKC closes it out at home. That would be my prediction for the series. Neesmith's health is going to be interesting to monitor because he certainly was not healthy, and Nemhard was awesome. Like basically just taking over the Neesmith spot of like defending Brunson 90 feet the whole time. But that was for 1 game, and it was a closeout game that they needed. Whereas, if you're asking Nemhard to do that every game on like Shea or something like that for 4, 5, 6 straight games, then you need to be comfortable with him being a 0 on offense because he's going to have nothing left. So, and they need his offense and they need Neesmith's offense. So and then it's like, you have the Siakam matchup. Like I think Chet on Siakam, that's an awful matchup for Siakam because he can actually match him physically. The Knicks didn't have anybody that's good enough defensively. Like Cat can match him physically, but he's not a good enough defender, whereas Chet is an A+ level defender on a guy like that. So I just think that's going to be tough. And I think the Pacers, we've talked about it, like they don't turn the ball over, but they play this like chaotic style of offense where it seems like they probably should turn the ball over, similar to like Golden State back in the day, but Golden State did have a turnover problem. They move and they do all this chaotic stuff. I think the Thunder are like, okay, cool, go ahead. Like, we're still going to be in the passing lanes. We're still going to get our steals. We're still going to be contesting every shot. Like, I don't think they're moved by that the same way like a not very good defensive Knicks team was. And like a Cavs team that was good defensively but was hurt when they played them. I just think it's going to be different against OKC. So we will see. I've already been seeing people come out, the ratings police. Oh, the ratings are going to suck on this finals. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I don't care. I do not care about I don't know when everybody got so caught up in like the ratings of things because who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like seriously.
The NBA finals are still gonna happen every year.
Yes.
I mean, the playoffs are still gonna happen every year. They're not gonna expand it anymore. Yeah. Like
I just don't understand like when these people that don't work for TV companies or for ad agencies, which is the only people that should care about any of this shit, is if you work for the sport, for a TV like broadcasting company or for an ad agency. If you're just like a guy at home watching basketball, why do you care? Who cares?
Who gives a fuck, man? Like
I'm gonna watch the NBA finals whether it's OKC Indiana or Lakers Celtics. And just like I'm gonna watch the World Series, whether it's as a Yankees fan, whether it's Yankees Dodgers or Diamondbacks Rangers, like it was the year before. So it's just weird to me.
I just think back to a couple of years ago when I didn't even watch the NBA. I'd still watch the finals like every year because I mean that's what you do. It's just what you do.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you wouldn't want to watch this finals because OKC's about to go on a fucking tear, dude.
They're like a historic team. They're historic to watch. They won 68 games in the regular season. They have only lost games basically to Denver and then 1 game to Minnesota in the postseason. They're like an all-time team going up against a really fun Pacers team that they both have awesome home court environments too. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't want to watch it, but the ratings police are out. Those are like some of my least favorite people online.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been saying a lot of different podcasts, like this might be the worst OKC team that we see like within the next 5 years. Like they're just gonna keep getting better. They still have a fuck ton of picks, and
Yeah.
like Shea's only gonna get better. Chet's only gonna get better if he doesn't get hurt. J-Dub's only gonna get better. I mean, I know it's gonna be hard to keep them all together, but if you have that core,
I don't think it is though. That's what's crazy. I know with the second apron stuff, I've been seeing all these people being like, "Oh, the second apron is going to run through OKC like the plague or whatever." I don't see it that way. I think they can pay Chet, they can pay J-Dub, and they can keep Shea. They're only going to have 1 year. I think we're at like the third year, so second 2 years from now, if they keep Hartenstein and they keep Caruso, that's where it's going to get expensive. But I think there's going to be different versions of this team moving forward. Like they probably moved Dort at some point. He's got a movable contract and people could use him, and he's a guy that can move. You let Hardenstein walk at some point, but as long as you keep Chet, J-Dub, and Shea together in their prime, you can keep building around the margins around that. And people like Caruso, who are like late or like mid-career defensive specialists who can give you a little something on offense, are going to want to go to a team like OKC for a discount because that's what Golden State used to be able to do back in the day too. I know it was before the second apron stuff, but I just think you're correct. This is probably going to be, it's weird, but the worst version, as long as they stay healthy, of this team we see over the next 2 to 3 years, which is crazy, especially Chet. Like, because J-Dub is starting to hit that like next level. Shea has grown a lot in these playoffs and has already been awesome. Chet, to me, is the guy that has the most room to grow, and he's already really good. He's going to be so good in like 2 years.
Yeah, it's going to be stupid. I mean, dude, imagine if he fucking put on some weight, man. That dude would be unstoppable.
Just a little bit of weight.
Just a little bit of weight. A quick fucking like 25 pounds, go on a dirty bulk, man. Put down some Miller Lite. Not even Miller Lite. Let's hit some like Budweiser, man. Just that heavy shit. I don't even give a fuck. Start smoking cigs. Get on the Luka diet. Get on the Luka diet. But yeah, man, it should be fun. I just also want to shout out, you said it earlier, my man, Thomas Bryant, 3 for 4 from 3.
Yeah, and they were awesome threes. So shout out Thomas.
He's him. But I think that's all we got on basketball.
Yeah, we'll be at live after that first game. Not live, but we're gonna record after that first game on Thursday. So
yeah, see your initial reaction. I want to do a quick fucking just pat on my own back because I've had the worst month betting ever. I went on a fucking heater. I went U.S. Women's National Team -1.5. They won by 3 against China. PSG beat Inter Milan in the Champions Cup. That one too. And then I had Pacers -4. Huge. And then I had Pirates money line because I hate the fucking Padres. So quick heater.
Wow.
Yesterday.
All right. Hell yeah. Shout out to Turner and shout out to the U.S. Women's National Team.
Yes.
PSG, didn't Mbappe not play and they still won? Or did he play?
Mbappe did not play. I don't know if he's still on the team. He might not be.
I thought he was still on the team.
Who knows? That dude is...
Maybe I'm dumb. I don't watch soccer.
No, that dude... I don't watch men's soccer either. That dude is weird. But there was a 17-year-old that had 2 goals. So that's pretty fucking cool. I also don't understand the whole, like, thing with soccer and, like, kids that are still in high school can play, like, professionally. But, like, in the NBA, it's, like, weird now. And, like, the MLB, it's still... I mean, it's not weird, but, like, you don't see... Obviously, you don't see kids in high school playing in the league. You see kids like not go to college and play like farm for 10 years of their life and not make any money and then become a fucking enterprise rent-a-car employee.
Yeah, soccer's different for with that stuff for sure. I think it's because it's so international. Because like there's some hockey stuff like that where like, and baseball too, where guys will come from overseas and they'll sign their contract pretty early or something, or like that happens more in baseball. But like in hockey, you can get drafted from overseas and then all of a sudden, like you've been playing professionally overseas against like grown men since you were like 14, basically, because you were that good, and then you come to the NHL.
Makes sense. I mean, I guess like international basketball too, like with Luka and everything.
Luka.
Yeah.
I mean, Luka was playing pros when he was like 16.
Probably
was killing them.
Too.
Wemby, same thing.
Giannis, kind of. Also, I know his
Yeah,
brother
shout out
played
to the
a
Grease
lot
circuit.
early. Yeah, the
That definitely
Greece.
helped Thanasis for sure. Thanasis is like a stud now, so that definitely helped.
Shout out to Thanasis.
Yeah. Well, shout out you for getting hot betting wise. I had a good day
Needed
today,
it.
but I had a rough week. Shout out to the French Open and shout out to Francis Tiafo. I don't know how you say his name, but he was dominant today. Shout out to his money line in the French Open, and then shout out to a little WNBA for you. Shout
Oh
out
yeah,
to
Noah.
the center on the Connecticut team
The
had
Suns.
had her had her under 16 and a half points and she only
Shut
scored
the
10.
fuck up.
Loser.
Bro, they got fucking annihilated today, didn't they?
100 to 52 was the final
Yeah,
score,
that's
so
tough.
she might
I
have been
just
the high
checked up
score.
on that. I just checked up on that and I was like, hell no, but
Yeah, so
shout out
she
you
might
for
have
that
been the high
under.
score.
That's crazy. Do you have some insight on that shit?
Uh, I just honestly was like looking at the app that I like track my bets in, and a lot of the WNBA like expert people were like, we're taking her under, and I was like, you know what? There's not a lot on today. Fuck it, I'm gonna ride. And it was a good ride because they got smoked as a team. So,
Yeah. Your
Connecticut
Seattle
Sun,
Storm got kind of fucking blown away too, man. Well, not blown
yeah,
away, but they
but
lost by 5.
they did lose by 5, and
Two good
they're playing
aces.
Vegas. Good Aces team, not as good as the championship team, I don't think. Um, but you know that we still, I still think when you look at the odds for like who's gonna win the whole thing, the I still think Seattle's undervalued. They're like middle of the road in their odds, but I think they've been playing pretty competitive basketball against good teams. So
Yeah.
you know, um, and we got you know my girl Dagan's out there playing well. 6 turnovers today, not good, but it's okay. I know
Shout out
I
to
should have gone to the game today.
dude. I
Damn,
was gonna
I was
say,
at
why
home
don't you
too.
go to the games, man? I feel like tickets can't be that much.
I don't know,
Just be
man.
a
I
stand,
gotta
man.
check it out.
Paint your
I
fucking
should
body
sit
and shit.
courtside. I should
Yeah.
sit courtside.
You should just be a super fan, man. Be like Thumbdoor or like the Chiefaholic. Start fucking
Chiefaholic start robbing
yeah.
banks for. I'm like, yeah, I need to go to Storm games, so I need to support that by
Yeah.
robbing banks.
Crazy
Um,
documentary. I don't know if you've seen that, but crazy documentary
I didn't
about
actually
that
watch the
guy.
documentary, but I read about
You
like
should.
his thing. But
You should.
I'll
That's a
have to watch
crazy
it.
watch. Crazy watch.
I'll have to
And
watch
it's
it.
wild. They essentially let him out. Well, he got bailed out from this guy to go to. It was either the Super Bowl or playoff game, but he
Yeah.
just bet a stupid fucking amount of money. It was so dumb. All from the banks he robbed on the way there, but he won that money. But yeah, way off topic. Shout out that guy. Weird
Shout
guy.
out to that guy.
Let's go to ball, man. Let's talk some ball.
Dude, I have a shout out for ball. Shout out just the Seattle Mariners in general, but shout out Cole Young getting called up and then having a walk-off weird infield single hit in his first ever game. I can't think of a better way. I mean, a walk-off home run would be cooler, I guess, but a walk-off hit in a your first game ever has got to be the best feeling. So, uh shout out to Cole Young on Saturday for the Mariners.
Yeah, but let's just stay on the Mariners, man. They're doing the most Mariners fucking thing that they could do right now.
What's that?
They had like a 6 game lead on whoever was in second, and now they're tied with probably the worst team that they could be tied with in the Houston
The
Astros.
Astros.
I wish we had our good friend Carter Davis on right now so we could absolutely shit on him. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't
what are your
know.
thoughts on the Mariners?
I don't know how they always do this. I feel like they start out like good enough, and the Astros have just started cold like 2 or 3 seasons in a row. And so, and this is not the same Astros team as before. You know, they obviously sold some guys off, and they don't have as good of an overall team, but they're still the
They have a bunch of
Astros.
guys coming
And
off injuries too.
yeah, they're still the Astros. They still so has Jordan been out?
Yeah, Jordan's been out, but they got Lance
Okay.
McCullers back, which was
I
huge.
know, and he got death threats immediately. That was crazy. So
He
don't do
got
that.
death threats?
Did you
Because
not hear him talking about that?
No, I didn't. That's wild.
Dude, his first like two starts back were not good, and people had like been betting on him. This is like the dark side of betting.
Yeah.
They're DMing him like saying like I see you and your family like walk around town like I'll kill you guys. Isn't
Jesus
that
fuck,
crazy?
man. That's so wild.
Yeah,
That's so wild. They're
I
probably
know. And
putting
so
like some
he like
stupid bets on it. They're like over fucking 10.5 strikeouts or some shit.
yeah. No, it's dumb. And so don't do that, people. That's stupid. But yeah, Mariners doing the Mariners thing. I still think they're gonna win that division. I really do still think they're gonna win it, but only because of Cal Raleigh.
Yeah.
That dude is fucking awesome. We talked about it last time. Like, obviously, Judge is number one in the MVP, but I wouldn't be surprised if Raleigh wins it. This is like the best offensive season from a catcher like we've almost ever seen, and he's also like awesome defensively
Yeah.
as a catcher too, which is
Mhm.
crazy.
I mean, if you're gonna bet, now the time's to bet. I don't know what the odds are, but
Yeah,
they're only a half game up on the Astros. Also, that division is wide open because teams keep losing to teams that they shouldn't have, and then like the weird Angels and Rangers also keep beating teams that they shouldn't beat.
yeah.
So who knows? Who knows what's gonna fucking happen? But hey, I just want to transition into to your Yanks, man.
Yeah.
I was just looking at box scores, looking at scores Saturday night, and I saw that you guys lost. It was almost by 3 touchdowns.
Oh, was there a
It's
game
crazy.
Saturday night? I don't,
Yeah.
I don't watch baseball on Saturdays. I don't know
I
if you
think
know that
Shohei
about me. So
threw for like 500 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah.
yeah, we could have used a few of those on our end from Judgy, but he did have a garbage time, touchdown though. He hit one home run, so yeah, rough Saturday for the Yanks. Rough series overall. We went up 5-0 in the first game, and I was thinking like, damn, all right, we're out for revenge. We're coming for the Dodgers. We let them get all the way back into it. My least favorite player in the MLB is, of course, raking against us in that game, Freddie Freeman. If I have to
Yeah.
see that veneer filled weird mouth with that weird chin do the stupid fucking bullshit with his dumb face. If I have to see that against the Yankees, like again, that would be in the World Series. So I'd be happy we're there. But God, it just makes me so mad.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you see before the game he was like throwing coach pit or like little tosses to his kid, and then
Yeah.
all the fucking quote tweets were like, "Fuck that kid." Shit
Yeah.
had me dead.
I don't
Shit.
want that kid anywhere near the Yankees because it's just bad luck. I don't want, and I'm so happy I don't have to see Freddie Freeman the rest of the regular season. I can't stand that guy. Um, the Dodgers though, I have to give them like their respect and I've watched them because they're usually the last West Coast game, so I do watch them, but I haven't watched this intently where it's like my team playing them. They just don't swing at pitches out of the zone.
No.
Like they just don't do it. Like as a whole team, certain teams have like players that have a good eye and they have a good approach as a team, but they make you work. They don't swing at anything outside the zone, and then if you throw it in the zone, they put a good swing on it every time. Teoscar Hernandez is super underrated. Every time he comes up, I'm scared. He's really good.
He hits
And he hits
bombs.
two for them. Yeah, he does. He hits bombs. Their center fielder sometimes plays left. Pejas, that dude's a stud as well. I know he
Yeah.
like fucked up in left field today and overthrew his catcher by like a yards
Yeah.
over his head.
I think he's like one of the worst defensive outfielders right now, but he fucking bangs, so it doesn't matter.
But he mashes. He mashes. He's really good. And then Will Smith. Will Smith just like is never not on base, I feel like, and he's an awesome catcher. We're talking about good offensive catchers. Like he's like the a little bit lower version of Cal Raleigh in the NL. Like he's really good.
Yeah.
So the Dodgers are good. Saturday was embarrassing. I don't really want to talk about Saturday. That was just full on embarrassing.
You guys
Today,
should have
though,
won Friday. You guys should have won Friday.
We should have
in my
won
opinion.
Friday. We blew it and didn't play well down the stretch and let the Dodgers get back in it. They're a good team. That happens. And Fried, you know, that was just one of his, not so great games, which he hasn't done very much. So,
I mean, wasn't it not terrible until the last inning? Like he bases
yeah,
loaded
he
and then
was
pitcher sub or reliever came in. I don't know who it was, but
he was
yeah. And then
cruising, and then yeah, he kind of let some people on, and then obviously bullpen comes in and just wasn't that good. But today was a little more like it. My guy Devin, who I've never said a bad word about, came in and 1, 2, 3, eighth inning. Um, our guy Tim Hill comes in the ninth because we went up 7-3, so no more save situation, and he shut him down. Ryan Yarbrough, who for some reason just gets to start games for us now because of all the injuries to pitching, goes 6 strong against the Dodgers, strikes out Freddie Freeman, kind of dominates him. I love that.
huge.
Um,
Who started
so
on Saturday?
Will Warren. Yeah. And Will
Tough.
Warren was coming into that game was pitching pretty well, and then he let him put a 7 spot up on his ass. So you know,
At least you
not
guys
gonna
didn't do what
overreact.
the Diamondbacks did in the first inning. That I forgot
Yes,
what
that was rough. ten
Fridays.
zero against
That was
that
crazy.
was Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
That was rough. But yeah, not going to overreact to some games in May and June. But a little alarming about Saturday. I won't lie.
hmm I think you guys are good. I think it's just bullpen is scary, in my opinion. Bullpen is very scary. I know it's not the bullpen, but I saw that Cookie got called back up. So hopefully he can get some starts for you guys. And obviously,
Put my guy Cookie in there.
I fucking love Cookie. Cookie's fun to watch. It's like watching Pavetta pitch. I fuck with him. But another team in the AL East, the Sox. I don't know if you want to shit on them for a second because they're in fourth.
Yeah. We're playing them coming up the end of next week, so I don't want to go too hard until we actually play them head to head for the first time. But man, they are rough to watch. I know they're not going to call up Roman Anthony because of service time bullshit, but like at this point, just call him up. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck are we doing? Um, I watched actually a lot of their Braves series this week where they took 2 of 3. Um, and I just got to say, this isn't about the Sox. This is more about the Braves. I placed a bet while I was watching that series on the Braves to win the NL
Shit.
because they don't make any sense to me. I don't understand how they're below 500 and they've looked like shit and their offense hasn't been good. Their pitching has been good. I watched Schwellenbacher, or however the hell you say his name, on Saturday just dominate on his birthday. Chris Sale's been good. I like their team. Like I was watching their lineup come up, and every guy I think is good. Like
hmm
Albies comes up, good. Acuna leading off, awesome.
Austin
Austin
Riley.
Riley, good. Matt Olson, good.
Marcelo
Um,
Zuna.
Marcelo Zuna, alcoholic. And so
Give me the
like
keys.
they yeah, as long as he has a driver, that he should be good. And then they're decent defensively. And so I just like when I was watching them, I was like, how is this team bad? They're not bad. They're gonna go on a run. So I think either June or July, they're gonna go on this run and I'm gonna be getting good value on them to win the NL. So
Huge.
I I don't have a ton to say on the Red Sox after that series. I think they're just not that good. Um, and some of their prospects that they called up are just getting figured out a little bit, and then they need to make the counter adjustment. Now they've been adjusted to, so now they have to make the counter adjustment.
hmm
And we'll see, if they can do that. They're good players, so I'm sure they will. I don't want to shit on them too much until we play them head to head coming up next weekend. So then I'll
Yeah,
go.
that'll.
Sunday
I was gonna
Sunday
say
pod, tune in.
that'll be a fun reaction episode. But then last team in the AL, Tigers still killing it. They're a tough team.
1-0 today. They
Yeah,
just
they're
keep rolling off wins.
they grind out fucking games, man. I mean, it's tough not to win when you have that staff, and then obviously their bats are rolling around. They're still pretty young offensively. It's pretty easy to win when fucking Hobby is your 9 hole and he's almost hitting 300, which is absolutely wild.
And they just have good vibes. Whenever I watch like a Tigers game, they just seem like they're having a lot of fun together. They seem like they like know they're good. They're kind of they come in with like a good arrogance about them. I just like them. They're good.
hmm Yeah, they're fun to watch, especially when Scoobs is pitching, dude. That's the easiest fucking money line ever. I pray that they always play a good team because I'm like, you're about to get fucking carved by Scoobs.
Yeah,
But shout out
cannot miss a
Scoobs.
Scoop start.
Shout out Scoobs. Shout out Seattle U. Crazy that he went there. Yeah, transition to the National League, man. The Mets just overtook the Phillies as the leader in the NL East. I know you absolutely hate that, but since you just
cool
put a
by
bet
them.
on the Braves, how do you think this is all going to unfold?
I see the Braves going on a heater. I know, this is like the worst time to be saying that. They just dropped 2 of 3 against a bad, not very hot right now Red Sox team, and they're still below 500, and they're in a really tough division with the Phillies and the Mets at the top. But I think they're going to go on a heater. Like I said, June, July is going to just be a hot month for the Braves, and I think the Mets pitching is going to come back to earth sometime in the dog days of summer here. And their offense is good enough to keep them, within striking distance of winning the NL East. But I just think that their pitching is going to come back, especially like Holmes and some of these guys that haven't thrown as many innings. I think they're going to start to tire out a little bit as we get into kind of the late summer. So I just think the Braves are going to be slowly but surely, keeping track and starting to move on up. And the Phillies bullpen scares me. They're like shaking up the bullpen. They just don't really have like anybody reliable consistently. And they're a team that health-wise is always going to scare me because their core is a little older. I know Harper got hit by a pitch and he's supposed to be back, but he's awesome. He's a little older. Schwarber's awesome. A little older. Trey Turner, same thing. So like their core of guys. Alec Boehm is a little younger than those guys, but still, like they just have a little bit of an older core, similar to like the Yankees a couple of years ago, where like one injury to Judge and Stanton, and like all of a sudden we were like a 500 team that missed the playoffs. And so I just think they're a team like if Harper was to miss extended time with this, I think that's bad for them winning the division at least.
Yeah. I agree with you as far as the bullpen. Watching the game today, because that was one of the 3 games I watched today. Ranger threw an absolute fucking gem, 2-0. He comes out of the game. They haven't really extended him on innings yet this year, but comes out of the game and their bullpen gives up a 5 spot. In the last couple innings. So it's tough, man. It's tough to come back from that, especially at home when you're supposed to be winning at the bank.
Yep.
But that division's weird. Weird team that I really like watching out of that division is the Nationals. Just because they're young, and I think that, like the Braves, that they could fucking turn it around at the end of the season and make something happen.
They're all of a sudden like right at 500. They're like 29-30 now or something. They're getting better throughout the year, which is good.
CJ Abrams, and then who's the big motherfucker? Wood, that dude rakes. That dude fucking rakes.
He hits the shit out of the ball.
Yeah. And then the Marlins low-key win weird games. I'm not going to lie.
I like watching the Marlins because I'm like, oh yeah, that guy still plays. Nice. That's good. I'm like, damn, that's where they sent you? That's
crazy. That's crazy.
Like them and then the Angels are a good team for like, oh shit, Chris Taylor. Dude, that's crazy. Where have you been?
That's how I feel when I see Tommy Pham every time. But no, I'm playing. I'm going to skip over the National League Central and go to the National League West because I don't want to crash out yet. Obviously, the Dodgers are doing their thing. Padres played. Padres should have got swept, in my opinion. Giants have lost a couple kind of really weird games that they shouldn't be losing. So
starting to fall off a little bit. But
they're still only 3 games back. But the Diamondbacks, I want to start that because I almost bet on them in that game. I think it was Friday. I don't know how to say his name, but he has a weird last name. It's like
Brandon Pfaadt.
Yeah, Pfaadt. He weirdly pitched a World Series game. I just remember that. It was like his first game, his debut, and it was like in the World Series.
His first stars.
Yeah, that's insane. How are you going to do that to the man? But Yeah, he was just getting fucking knocked around, dude. That's crazy. You get your
Nationals, who we
first
mentioned
out.
earlier.
You get your first out after 10 runs.
Yeah,
Stupid.
it was bad.
It was really bad. Really fucking
And
bad.
and the poor Diamondbacks have just already been like dropping games left and right. They lose
Yeah.
that game, and then today, everybody's probably already seen the video by now if you're online. But Corbin Burns throws a pitch, gets raked into right field, and he immediately calls for the trainer and doesn't even cover his mouth. He just says, "My elbow, it's gone, it's done." And
It's
so
dead.
that's a bad sign for
Yeah.
the Diamondbacks. Their
For a
season's
team
already
that
kind of going to
already,
shit.
yeah, for a team that already didn't have any pitching whatsoever, just lost your
Yeah,
best arm.
to lose their best pitcher other than Gallen,
Yeah.
and like that's supposed to be the 1-2 punch. Probably for if it's Tommy John, if it really is his elbow's done. I mean, that's you're losing him into part of next year too. And so,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a guy you just signed him to a huge deal too. Like that just sucks for a team that's been doing it the right way, kind of building from within. They go make a splash in free agency, and then, I mean, that's terrible. So, um,
Yeah. Feel bad for
but
them.
that division, like you said, is just crazy because the Dodgers have been so good, but so have the Padres, and so have the Giants. So you just can't. And honestly, you know, watch out for Colorado. Only 27 games back.
What was it? One of their starting pitchers has 10 losses before the team has 10 wins. That's
Yeah,
insane, man. I would be so
I saw
fucking
that.
pissed as a pitcher. That's
Yeah,
fucking
their
insane.
their win percentage is .153. That's
Dude,
so bad.
I forgot who brought it up on the broadcast, but they said like someone should probably look into that, like full on investigation type shit. And I'm like, honestly, probably. Because, like, almost 60 games into the season, and you've only won 9
Yeah,
games.
9-50.
The Pirates have
Are
22
they?
wins, man, road to 30, but
Yeah,
still, like, I look at the Pirates, I look at the Rockies. Honestly, pretty similar, in my opinion.
dude. The White Sox have 18 wins. The White Sox have 18 wins in the AL.
Yeah, but Lou
Like
Bob's a dog.
it's just
Lou Bob's a dog.
yeah. Okay, and there is that. But
Yeah.
what's crazy is are they all just going to like spend did they all just spend their off season like out at Vail or something? I just don't understand how you can be that bad. Um
Dude,
I
like
think I
in
saw
baseball,
something
as long as you show up, you win some games. Coming from
crazy
someone
shit can
that
happen.
came from the worst NAI team in America, we won some games still.
Yeah.
So, like, in your professional athletes, man, you got to win some games. I don't know. You got to
Could
change something up. You got to. I
could
already know
Turner's
they already
team
fired their
have
coach.
beat this year's Rockies? Question of the day.
Hell no. Hell fucking no. We almost got beat by
Um
JUCO teams, man. Hell no.
yeah. The uh the Rockies having only 9 wins, that's just just looking at that, it just looks made up looking at it on the standings. It just
Dude,
doesn't make any sense.
seeing 27 games behind, that's stupid. That is fucking
Yeah.
not good. Not good
Yeah, I can't
whatsoever.
believe it. Um
But we can transition into a team that is pretty bad. I just mentioned them, but not as bad. Um, Watching
Pirates
the
talk.
Pirates this weekend, I'm still hopeful, as delusional as I can be, man. From a Pittsburgh fan base perspective, um, coming off 2 series wins, I was like, okay, we're probably. Well, I knew we were gonna at least drop to the Padres or get swept. But the fashion that we lost 2 games, man, we shouldn't have lost that first game. Henry Davis gets fucking rung up on a ball that is at least like 3 balls below the zone.
Bad.
Yeah, really fucking bad. Skip gets tossed for it. Andrew McCutcheon's doing a weird ass thing where he's just standing at the top of the dugout, just staring down the umpire. So I mean, and it would have walked in the tying run. So we got fucked there. And then today, Andrew Heaney does his thing. What all of our starting pitchers have done. Kind of
Yep.
like he only gave up two. We were up. I think we were still up like 3-2 at that point, and then we scored five. So we were up 5-2, and then our bullpen came in, and it was just a fucking implosion. Fucking implosion, and good thing I almost tweeted out at Manny Machado, get your fat ass around the fucking bases. You're not that fucking good anymore. Please. You're kind of ass. But yeah, I'm happy. Coming off, I'm glad we at least got one, but we should have got three, in my opinion. So I don't know who they're playing next series, but it's just on to the next one, man. On to the next time that Paul Skeens pitches, because I'm hopeful of that. Their GM also came out and said pretty much everyone on the team except O'Neal Cruz, aka the Monkey, or Paul Skeens is tradable. So we'll see, man.
K. Brian Hayes, you are a Yankee. Welcome to the Yankees. Come play third base.
I would love to see Key Brian on the Yankees. I love Key Brian.
Let him come play. Because we definitely need somebody at third. Once Jazz is back. So, these are the types of series that when the Pirates hopefully eventually, like with this staff, are like good. Maybe in like 2 years. Maybe I don't know. Putting it out there, 1-2 years. These are the types of series that you do end up sweeping because you played good enough to sweep. It just didn't happen, and so tough scene. But staying on the NL Central, not to like switch it up too much, but the Cardinals are like slowly, they're creeping up on the Cubbies. If I was the Cubs, I'd be a little scared.
I would be scared too. I would be fucking frightened because they've lost a couple that they shouldn't have. Yeah.
And the Cardinals are just one of those teams, like I watch them. We talked about the Tigers vibes. The Cardinals have good vibes. When I watch them, they seem like they all love each other. They're all homegrown. It's crazy. Like Mason Wynn, their second baseman, Donovan, Jordan Walker, Alec Burleson. Like everybody that plays a position for them is all from their farm system. So they obviously all came up together. And you can tell because they really like playing together. So just want to give another quick little Cardinals talk. Like, they look good. I'd be scared if I was the Cubs.
Dude, Sonny has been fucking nails too. I think he leads the league in strikeouts right now. But
my guy Sonny Gray, hell yeah.
My guy Sonny Gray. But Cubbies, man, I just want a quick shout out on Cubbies. PCA went, I think it was 4 for 4 today with like fucking 6 RBIs. So shout out him. Love PCA, big PCA podcaster.
He's been awesome.
Continuing
to be awesome.
I really hope the Cubs don't fall off because a team that has been deserving to go to the playoffs, I really hope they get that spot. And
I hope so too.
Especially because it's going to be Mets. It's going to be either Mets, Phillies, obviously the Dodgers. So I don't know who's going to sneak into that wild card spot.
Braves.
They have to win. 9.5 games out.
Road to the NL East. That's all I got on baseball. To be honest, I feel like we're giving out free futures for the people. Pretty much every time we talk ball. So, don't take this for granted.
Yeah. Who are you taking in the All-Star game? Because we're getting close on halfway through the season.
We're getting close. Who do you think is going to start for each league? Pitching.
Paul
for the NL. Again, so 2 years in a row.
And Paul, and I'm going to go on a limb and say... Ooh, this one's tough. I'm going to say either Evaldi or Max Fried.
I'd say Fried or Scoobs or Evaldi for the AL.
Yeah, Scoobs or Fried or Crochet. I could see some weird.
AL's a tough decision.
Yeah.
AL's Garrett, whatever, Crochet from the Red Sox. He's good too. Yeah, the AL is a tough decision for whoever's going to do it.
Hunter Brown too. I didn't even think about that. Fuck.
The manager is going to be Booney, so I feel like he can't pick Fried because that would just be like, okay, you're just going to pick your guy. So it's probably going to be either Scoobs, Crochet, or Evaldi, I would say. What if he's just like, Luis Severino, I miss you, man. Go out there and throw the inning. Just
They
a
do
booty move
an opener for the fucking. That'd be so awesome. I
for
would
that
love
for the All
that.
Star game. Exactly. All right, closing things out though, Turner, are you going to be locked in since it's different days than the NBA to this Stanley Cup final?
Oh, I'm gonna have to be, man, because there's not gonna be a whole lot on. I'm a big watch the game on my phone at the gym, so I'm gonna have to
Hell yeah.
put something else on, and it's gonna have to be puck. Um,
Can't
I'm
think of
really,
anything better to watch on your phone than hockey. Just the
yeah,
puck is even smaller. You're like,
dude.
where's it
I
at? I
honestly,
don't
I'm
know.
just going off the vibes of the crowd and like what's going
They're
on, like
cheering.
the announcers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the cheering really was fucking nice for the NBA playoffs, so I could know who was winning or who was going off.
What was
So,
happening?
yeah, except for when I had to listen to fucking Reggie Miller just talk about the dumbest shit
Yeah.
ever.
That's when you put it on mute. Um,
I'm
well,
excited
I'm
for puck,
excited.
man. Yeah, yeah, give me your puck.
I'm
Give me.
I'm very excited. So this is a really cool. I know people get mad about rematches sometimes, but this is a really cool rematch, and like historically in the NHL, this is a cool thing. So in 1983, Wayne Gretzky went to his first Stanley Cup final and lost to the Islanders, and then a year later, rematch and he wins. Sidney Crosby, 2008, loses to the Red Wings. A year later, rematch and he wins. Connor McDavid, all-time great, hasn't gotten his Stanley Cup yet, similar to Crosby and Gretzky, loses to the Florida Panthers this year, rematch. That screams Edmonton to me. So I took McDavid to win MVP of the finals, and
Fire.
I took the Oilers to win the series. The Panthers are the better team. Don't get me wrong. And
Mhm.
Hyman being out for the Oilers is going to be big. But I just think McDavid and Draisaitl are on a mission. This team is better than last year's team. They haven't even like last year's team was basically all McDavid and Draisaitl all the time. This year's team has gotten Booch bombs. They've gotten different people to contribute, and they've been way better defensively. And they're coached much better. And Stuart Skinner looks awesome in net. So I think that the Oilers are going to win. It's going to be a really tough series though, um, and because the Panthers are a juggernaut and they just keep throwing people at you. They're like kind of like the Thunder where they just have like lines come in fresh. Um, but this is a less top heavy Oilers team, so I like the history aspect of it, like history to kind of repeat itself with an all time great losing and then having a rematch and winning. So I'll be rooting for the Oilers. I think they're going to win. That is why I bet on them to win. But really cool series historically, considering the rematch aspect of it.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Sounds like a little bit of a future that the followers need to put on.
I think the
Um,
followers need to be on the Oilers. We're going to be rooting for the Oilers because fuck the Panthers, dude.
yeah.
I don't like them.
Whoever works at DraftKings and FanDuel, how have you
Yeah,
not reached out to us yet?
yeah. Seriously, listen to this
All we want
breakdown,
is an
dude.
ad read. You don't even need like to give us anything. We just want an ad read. We just
Just
want to
give
help
us an
you.
ad read for free. We literally just want to help you, the sports book. We love you guys
Yes,
so much. We want you to make more money.
yes. For how much money I've given you over the past years.
We'll pay you, dude. We'll
We'll
pay
pay
you.
you.
That's all I got on puck though. I'll have a little breakdown for that too on our midweek pod after game one on Wednesday.
Lastly, I just want to shout out our boy. I don't know if he listens to this, but Parker likes. Big congratulations to him and new fiance Alyssa. Um,
Marissa.
we'll see what we do.
Yeah, we could have another live pod maybe sometime later this year when we go on a bachelor's trip.
Yeah, should be lit. We'll probably. It sounds like we're going to a Seahawks game, so.
Yep. So I will have some feedback for that
Mm-hmm.
after a few twisted teas. Um, we'll see
Yeah,
how that goes.
yeah.
But
Shout out
stay
Parks.
tuned for the actual in person, potentially live podcast on July 5th. That's going to be a movie, as they say.
That is gonna be a
Um,
crazy, just a fucking night in Seattle, essentially.
yep, summer night, so can't get any better than that. But yeah, subscribe, like, comment mean stuff.
Only mean things. If you have anything nice to say, I'm literally monetizing you and taking it off.
Keep it to yourself. Only mean
Yes.
comments.
Only mean comments, please. Yeah, that's all we got. Like, subscribe. Appreciate all of you.
Hell yeah.
We're almost road to 40. Let's see if the Pirates can get 30 wins before we get 40 followers.
Hell yes.
Huge.
Peace.
Later.